Alright, detecting talk of the day, Tuesday, July the 11th, 6:40 a.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. I got this new camera here, boys. It's got a real zoom on. You can get way back yonder. That's 200 yards. Anyway, you got this old boy named Pastry. He does these videos, I don't quite get that old boy. Doing a video over there. I guess he just put it out not long ago. He's testing detectors, a waste of time. But yeah, that's what he's doing in that video. I believe this old boy did a video about a year and a half ago. It could be 2 years. He said something about he goes hunting. And he'd come back to his house up to the wee hours of the night or the morning. He'd be bench testing his detectors. Now he says it's a waste of time. Well, let's look at this a little bit here. He makes a comment about hot dirt. Yeah, I get that part, higher mineralization. But if you've got let's say you got a cleaner yard with hot dirt in it, could you set yourself up a test bed? If you swept over a 4-inch, 5-inch deep dime in hot dirt with a metal detector and it wouldn't touch it, or called it iron, and you picked up another detector and you swung over and it called it non-ferrous or even ID'd it, well, what would that tell you? Which machine would you be wanting to use, maybe? These manufacturers, these detectors, these engineers, with their wisdom and intelligence and knowledge, they're drawing these detectors up. I guess you could say they're drawing them up on paper. But they just don't draw these machines up on paper and make them and just put a label on them and say, here you go, boys. Here's the new whatever. They're tested. Why is that? Why is that? I challenge people. If you get to go to one of these manufacturers' facilities and ask them, or you got to witness, what would they be doing with these detectors? Now, we got to see the White's facility. They show video. They had a test bed facility behind their shop, best I could see. But what were they doing out there? Wasting their time, according to Pastry? Can I take a metal detector, knowing what I know, and all the ones I've tested, can I take a metal detector and test it? Will it shed light on some of its strengths? I think I can. Now, let me mention this here. This DS2 come out, and this Mr. Denkowski, he didn't get one right away, but he eventually did. Here's what he said. Now, this is not verbatim. He's no dummy, folks. Preliminary results. Now, this was him. I don't know what kind of test he did, but it didn't sound like it was in the real world. Preliminary results reflect flagship unmasker. You can go read his form. That's what the man said. Now, that's not verbatim. Okay, he's went and tested that detector. He used it and he tested it. And he even compared it to the Lab Manicore. And I believe he was using 11-inch to 11-inch coils. And he put out some figures showing how much better the DS2 would, I guess you could say, best the Manicore in iron unmasking separation, okay? But there was also another little stipulation he had with his comments. He made a comment that when the Manicore is doing its best, It's actually coming up short with the DS2 slightly, but it's deeper. I agree with that. Because I've got both machines. I've tested the Manicore. So, just keep in mind, when you're sweeping a detector model, you can be going for one aspect of performance and you're sacrificing. You may be going for separation and unmasking, and you may sacrifice depth. That's what I think Mr. Dankowski was talking about. So yeah, bench testing detectors is a waste of time. Well, I don't think so. I think you can actually see the actual strength, some strengths and some weaknesses, and give you some direction to go. I mean, I don't want to go out and dig 500 holes to try to figure out some parts of a metal detector that I'm wanting to run, okay? I'll give you another quick example here, and I talked about this early on with the DS2. One of the things I noticed right off the bat, that machine would give like a 7 or 8, 6 in the meter on a non-ferrous target, repetitive tone. Well, that's not how typically a non-ferrous target reports on that machine, but that's how a mouse one can report. And that's actually, believe it or not, that's the first target I dug with that machine in the wild. So had I not bench tested, I might not have known that, and I might not have dug that target. Now, there's been some other people out there that's done the very thing. One guy even put a video up, and he even used what I had stated in a video, and he dug a relic out of a field that was heavily masked. So, yeah, bench testing can tell you some stuff. Okay. Don't pay no attention to what this guy's trying to tell you. Yeah, when you get in the wild, the problem when you get in the wild is you don't even know what you got under your call. So even if you dig a good target or a bad target, or let's just say this, if you dig a good target, you still don't know the layout. Even though you come out of the ground with a nail and a good target, well, many times you don't know the orientation or the exact depth and its relationship to the non-ferrous target. Unlike a bench test where you get to see everything. Okay? You all have seen me do a whole lot, put up several videos looking. Now, some of the videos are probably more important or tell you more than others, okay? Some of them are maybe even, they could be considered a little far-fetched, but, you got to sort of think outside the box sometimes with some of these detectors just to see what happens. Well, anyway, that's the detecting talk of the day. I hope everybody has a nice day.